back and we are live. So good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Wrestling Show. With me, as usual, is the co-host of the show, Kingpin. How are you tonight?
What's up?
So we are officially 2 weeks out from WrestleMania as of an hour and 5 minutes ago. And last night on SmackDown, they set up what could be potentially two of the biggest matches of the weekend. Your thoughts? You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, obviously, we'll talk about the one that I would think is the most obvious to everybody would be the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Hmm.
Uh, like I said in the pre-chat, I probably would have preferred, or at least been extremely fine with Kevin Owens staying independent and telling Cody Rhodes and telling Sami Zayn, I don't need your help. I don't want to, forgive and forget. It's done. We're moving on. Uh, it's inevitable. Of course, they were going to. I think they made it a little too campy. When Kevin Owens drove away, everybody was like, okay, clearly, if he drove away, he's going to come in and save the day during when Jimmy and Sammy are in the ring. Uh, I do have to say that the hug at the end did get one amazing crowd reaction, which I always like seeing the crowd get really into it. Do I
Yeah,
think that they're going to take the titles from them? Probably. Yeah, probably.
yeah. It just seems like it's time to that the bloodline gets knocked down a peg or two. And of course, I say two because what we got for the main event night two. Does anybody see Cody not winning?
I'd prefer he not win. I'd prefer he not win, but I can't see the storyline not going to Cody. Uh, a lot of the a lot of the internet videos that I've been watching about people's careers and stuff like that. Uh, Sami Zayn is the super hot thing right now, and Kevin Owens apparently has always been popular. So you got to do something while Sami Zayn's as hot as he is.
Hmm. Yeah, I think this is the most over that I've seen Sammy in his time in WWE. That goes all the way back to when him and KO were in NXT still.
Yeah, and from what I gleaned from the people who were talking about Cody Rhodes' career, is they were kind of surprised that the crowd was like, "Hey, yeah, we love Cody now." When he came back to WWE, because apparently throughout his career he wasn't really the fans' most favorite wrestler. Uh, and then when he came back and was kind of just fell into the babyface because the crowd just went nuts for him.
Yeah, he's had his highs and lows. I mean, when he left AEW, he wasn't the most popular guy among fans over in AEW. That's for damn sure.
Quick sidebar: have you ever heard of the band Fozzy?
Yeah, Chris
Is
Jericho's
that
band.
is that Chris Jericho singing, like
Yes,
really singing?
yes, that's him. That's him.
Chris
His
Jericho is a rock star.
yes, he is.
Holy smokes,
His
dude!
Jericho's entrance music is Fozzie's Judas. That's it. He sings his own entrance music
Well, I
in
wanted to.
AEW.
I got in. There was a trivia of guess who the wrestler is by their intro music, and it was all like late '80s, early '90s WWE giant superstars like Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan. So it was all a bunch of gimmies.
Mhm.
And I thought, well, I'm gonna put Chris Jericho. So I typed it in, and there's what it looks like Chris Jericho doing a music video. So I was like, oh, it's probably a parody. Then I watched another video, and it's all Chris Jericho, and I'm like, what the hell?
Mhm.
So, and that Chris Jericho theme music is an awesome song. I totally understand why the crowd sings it because it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, even as a heel, Jericho's reaction when the crowd is singing that song, he's got that big grin on his face.
It's even cooler. Like he could be a rock star. He's got an excellent singing voice for rock music.
Oh, he's been a guest on different music shows and stuff for years now. And VH1 Classic, when they had that metal show, Jericho was a frequent guest on there. Dude is big into that stuff.
That's pretty cool to find out, though.
Yeah, his band, they started as a Ozzy Osbourne cover band. That's why their name's Fozzy.
Right on. I'd say he's probably got. Now that I've actually listened to the songs, there's no doubt in my mind he's got the greatest entry song in the history of music, in the history of wrestling. Uh, Seth Rollins, the song sucks. Like I listened to the song, and without it being on TV with the crowd and Seth Rollins, all it is like a heavy metal guitar riff with some guy screaming "Burn it down" every once in a while.
Yeah. Now, there's a guy named Sting at one point had a song known as "Seek and Destroy" by Metallica
Yeah,
as his entrance music. So I mean, Judas is, I will give you, one of the best entrance themes ever.
Sting didn't sing that
No,
song.
Sting didn't sing it. No, but definitely as the theme song where the wrestler is singing their own entrance scene. Oh yeah, hands down, Judas is the best one, hands down.
I also didn't realize how big Sting was. When I was a kid seeing him wrestle, he was fit. He was nice, big, bulky guy and all that kind of stuff. But watching him,
Mm-hmm.
like seeing him stand next to guys in like pictures and then interviews and stuff, like big wrestlers like Triple H and the Road Warriors, he
Mm-hmm.
was just as big as all those guys.
Yeah, well, Sting's a former bodybuilder.
All right, get back to the wrestling chat instead of talking about wrestlers. We'll do that later.
All right, where? Oh yeah, the second match that was announced last night.
I don't, man, I see a lot of uh drama, good television, but I don't really see as much interest in this match as you do.
Oh, okay. Which match are we talking? We
You're
talking.
talking the triple threat match.
Did you see Clash at the Castle last year where Gunther and Sheamus had the match of the night, where they
Yeah, I
just
think we
tore
watched
each
it.
other to pieces?
Yeah, I think we watched it.
Yeah, throw Drew McIntyre in there. They're gonna steal that. They're gonna steal the night that night. If they can do what Sheamus and Gunther did at Clash at the Castle, that's going to be the match of the night. Whether it's night one or night two.
Yeah. Uh, how much not wanting to fight each other do you think Sheamus and McIntyre are going to do before they have to really go at it? Like, you think
They
they're
were
going to
laying
play
in,
that up, or
they were laying into each other on SmackDown last night.
yeah? And I saw the Finn Balor when Finn Balor fell down. The ring collapsed that one match we were watching.
Mm-hmm.
According to the internet, the WWE made that happen. Like that was a planned deal.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Unless, of course, that's something that happened to Finn Balor at a different match as well. But I'm pretty sure it's the match that we were watching that we
Yeah,
were
I'm
trying
pretty
to
sure. Yeah,
figure
it's
out.
probably that one because I can't think of another time that happened to him.
Now, also, they could have said that they made that happen because they didn't want to tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else is there? Do you think Rey Mysterio is going to wrestle Dominic at WrestleMania?
They got 2 weeks to set it up. I'm
I'm
pretty sure
tired of it.
that's. Yeah, I'm
Uh,
pretty sure that's going to be a thing. Hell, what if they did two Hell in a Cell matches? You could do Edge and Balor in one on night two. Night one, you have Dominic versus Ray in Hell in a Cell.
yeah. See what other matches are lined up. Okay, I'll talk about the elephant in the room. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair.
I wouldn't want to be those two and have to follow the triple threat match. That's all I could say on that one.
Yeah, definitely. Who do you think? You're pretty much guaranteed Rhea Ripley's going to be the champion.
I would like to think so, but I don't know for sure because it's Charlotte Flair.
I think that what they might do is Rhea will win a championship and shortly after that change her persona just a little bit. I'm not saying that she's gonna like get long platinum hair like she used to have, but I think she's gonna change her character just a little bit. But I think it's pretty much inevitable with the popularity that Rhea's got that I think she'll be the new champion. And I think that she might even unify. She might even go take Bianca's belt too.
Well, I don't know if they're going to do that because they're talking. The rumor is still that they're planning on splitting up the other belts.
Which in my if for the tag teams, I can kind of understand letting the Usos have them both because they do SmackDown and Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns is never on Raw,
No, very sparingly.
so why has he got the Raw title? Nobody else can have it because he won't show up on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Not. I don't know that. You know what I mean by that. Like
Yeah.
character
Well,
wise.
Roman is basically a part timer right now. His the way his contract is structured, he doesn't appear on every show. Yeah, he's basically got the Brock Lesnar contract right now.
Omos is getting married, I think, this week. Maybe
Oh,
he's having a dual wedding with what's roll call? What's up, Jason?
hey, Jason.
What's happening, fellas?
And we're just speculating on WrestleMania matches. I don't know. Did you happen to catch any of the wrestling this week, Jason?
No, I haven't caught any news.
Okay. A big match that was announced last night on SmackDown. This one we were just talking about. Gunther will be defending the Intercontinental Championship against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre.
At the same time?
Yes, triple threat.
I'll go with McIntyre.
I don't know. I'm leaning Sheamus because it's the one title that Sheamus hasn't held.
Well, if they were going to give it to Sheamus, they should have done it before St. Patrick's Day.
Well, St. Patrick's Day, they had the match that was supposed to determine who the number one contender for Gunther was going to be, and Imperium interfered, and so what's his face made it a triple threat match at WrestleMania.
That's called the luck of the Irish.
So, yeah. Well, who would you pick, Kingpin, out of those three? Jason and I gave our pick.
Uh, Not McIntyre. Uh, just thinking about the show lines because I really, out of all of them, Sheamus is my favorite, but I do like the McIntyre character, and I do like the Gunther character. Trying to figure out the storyline, I would say Sheamus because he's never held the title. He can't have that many more years left in him. Um, they needed to break him and McIntyre up, and Gunther's already set the record for all-time Intercontinental title belt.
Well, this century anyway. The
Okay,
record is held by the Honky Tonk Man, who held it for well over a year.
I thought Gunther's had it for almost 2
No,
years.
no, he's only had it for 200 and some days. He hasn't
Oh,
even had it
okay,
a year
okay.
yet.
Oh, all right, I thought he was already well over the.
No,
Okay,
no,
then
he won it last June.
mm, that changes things then, because then I think Gunther will probably retain.
out of those three, Sheamus is the only one that's not held it. That's why I'm going with Sheamus. Just that's the one title he needs to get the title of being a Grand Slam champion. Stacy's out there in the chat. Hey, Stacy. Now, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. Who do you think is going to win that one, Jason?
Oh, it's tough because it is a man's world. But can I throw in a wild card? Can I say it'd be like a disqualification?
Yeah, I mean it's not a no DQ match of any variety. It's just a straight up match that they're having.
I would lean towards Charlotte Flair, but I don't know. Probably in real life, 1-on-1, I bet that dude could whoop her. But I'm gonna say this when something funny goes down, and that way they can stretch this out and play this along in the future.
Okay, so Jason's saying no finish, basically. Kingpin's going with Rhea Ripley. I want to go with Ripley, but I don't know if they're going to take the belt off Charlotte yet. She just got it not that long ago.
One thing that would help Rhea Ripley, especially on the grandest stage of all, WrestleMania, and yeah, I'm pointing to the sign, mandatory. She better hit the weights before she comes out on stage. She needs to go back to showing how much muscle she has because Charlotte's thin and skinny defined, so she looks like she's in decent shape. Rhea's starting to look a little bit comfortable, and if she pumps some of the weights real hard before she goes out on stage and really shows that she's got that body going, it's really marketable.
Yeah. One thing that Rhea does have that leans towards her potentially winning, she owes Charlotte one from WrestleMania a couple years ago.
Rhea does. I've seen her wrestle uh, a lot, and she does have the talent to do the job. She does need to sharpen up. She needs to become more of a polished wrestler. Either that or hit the gym real hard and just club people over the head real good.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys know the history. Well, Kingpin, you might if they've been flashing back to it between Rhea and Charlotte. Back when Rhea was still in NXT and she was the NXT champion, Charlotte won the women's Royal Rumble match. And instead of challenging either the Raw or SmackDown Women's Champion, she challenged Rhea for the NXT Championship and beat her for it at WrestleMania. So there is a history there. So could this be Rhea getting her revenge for that against Charlotte? She wins the Royal Rumble and then challenges Charlotte when she's not on SmackDown, she's on Raw. It's the same storyline but reversed.
Rhea's a lot better on the microphone than Charlotte. Um, I think it's possible, and I'm just making up stuff right now, but I think maybe sometimes the fans look at Charlotte Flair like Hunter Biden. Like you're here because your father's Ric Flair, or Rhea Ripley. Kind of had to make her character development. You just did Ric Flair's thing, and people were basically forced to either like it or not. Where Rhea had to build her character up to get to where people like her now.
Mm. Well, Christ, when Cody left WWE, he basically went and did the Dusty Rhodes thing on the independent scene and got to back where he is now. So kids are going to use their dad if they can. It's just
Yeah, sure, but I mean, if you're looking at the fan, and really, I don't know how they make their decisions. I know Triple H likes to to work by what the fans are doing,
Hmm.
or other people in the company like Vince are pretty much, we'll give the fans what we think they want.
Right.
Uh, the fans want Rhea Ripley way
Hmm.
more than they want Charlotte Flair.
Hmm.
I mean,
Charlotte Charlotte works best as a heel, just like her old man. Why they are having her be the baby face in this feud is beyond me. I mean, Charlotte is not a natural baby face by any stretch of the imagination.
and see, that's a storyline that Rhea could start working. Like when she comes out to confront Charlotte, she could be like, "Look, Charlotte, let me tell you the truth. You may think that I'm a horrible, evil person, but all these people out here love me, and they hate you." You know, kind of. She should turn it like that.
Mm-hmm. You know, two of them had something you don't see very often last night on SmackDown, a pull apart brawl between two women wrestlers.
Yeah, that was surprising that they let that go as crazy as they did. And one thing that I do appreciate about how they did that is they got way more officials involved.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times when the big badass girls get in a fight, two referees are able to break them up.
Yeah, four at most.
Yeah,
But they actually had the guys in the suits and everything out there trying to break it up this time. It made it look more realistic,
yeah.
you say. Like that they wanted to beat the shit out of each other.
Well, and you also have to take into consideration that these are supposed to be superhuman women. That's why they're wrestlers and not, the lady sitting in the front row watching. These are super athletes. So how is one little fragile referee going to hold Rhea Ripley back?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
All right, what's next? What's next on the agenda for the WrestleMania? What matches do we know
Edge, Edge, and Finn Balor, Hell in a Cell.
of? Man, I don't know. This is another problem because Finn Balor's super duper popular. Uh,
So's Edge.
and Edge is mega popular.
Yeah.
Uh, dang. And Ed, I'm gonna have to say that Edge is gonna have to win this one, and I think he's
Oh,
gonna
it's
have to
got
win it kind of forcefully. Like I don't think it's gonna be like a weak put my finger on your chest because we're both dying 3 count. I think he's gonna have to hit him with a good move at the end and be real pumped up because they've been kicking his ass for like 3 or 4 months.
Oh
Bad.
yeah. Yeah, and both guys, if I remember right, are north of 40 too. So put they're both gonna be winded by the time that match is over, you would think. Good lord. It's, that's gonna but it's that match is gonna probably be brutal. And like I said a few weeks or hell, probably more like a month ago now. If they're gonna blow this feud off, this is probably gonna be the best way to do it because simply because of what's happened with Beth Phoenix and everything, the way that they've brutalized her multiple times now. You know, I don't see any. I didn't see any other way that they're going to be able to blow this off except in the cell. They've already done an I Quit match where Judgment Day cheated. This is going to be the only way that they can do this match without that. That's supposedly guaranteed not to have outside interference.
Well, and it also gives him an angle because Rhea could be trying to interfere from outside, and the chick, the Amazonian, could really whip her ass real good, and then be done with it. While Edge is in the ring winning against Finn, and be done with it, and then they could just move on.
Yeah. So, and then of course you got the big match of the weekend: Cody and Roman.
Uh, we gotta get Jason on the last one.
Oh yeah. What do you think, Jason, on Finn and Edge Hell in a Cell?
Well, man, you kind of hit on it a little bit. I'd like to see Edge win, and I'm getting a little tired of the feud between these two. It was good while it lasted. You know, they drug his old lady in it, all this and that. Yeah, able to play it out for a little while, but I'm kind of tired of it. I was hoping it'd be over after the last pay per view, but like Kingpin said, I think you got to give this one to Edge. I mean, like he said, he's been getting his butt kicked for a while. So,
Yeah.
and I like Edge more, but that Finn Balor's, he's kind of like got some dynamite to him too. You know what I mean? He could put on a show.
Hmm.
But I think you add in the cage match and everything. Just gonna have to give the edge to Edge, I guess.
All right.
Before
Oh,
before we go, Jason, what about the first match you weren't here? We talked about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn made up on Friday night, and so they're gonna team up and probably wrestle the Usos at WrestleMania. I don't think that's official though, is it?
no, it's not official yet, but that's definitely where they're going with it.
And
Yeah.
I know you expressed your feelings about this whole Sami Zayn bloodline thing before, so if you wanted to comment on that before we go on.
Uh, I agree from what I just heard that it's probably gonna happen. That would be a good matchup. Uh, Unfortunately, I know Sammy's the new crowd hero and all this and that, but the Usos need a good win too. I'd like to see them just stomp the shit out of them.
All right. And before we go on to Roman and Cody, I forgot another match. This one was announced on Raw a couple weeks ago. Mr. YouTube asshole versus Seth Rollins.
And we have another one too, so I'll give another one after this one. Why don't you go ahead and start this one, Jason?
Okay, who's the YouTube asshole?
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. Ah, this one's too easy. Not even gonna throw any because of this or whatever. I just like Seth a lot better than that dude.
All right, what do you think on that?
Man, you know how they always hold those signs up if Undertaker doesn't win, we riot, stuff like
Hmm.
that. If they let Logan Paul beat Seth Rollins and beat him like whip his butt real good, I'm rioting.
Yeah.
I think what'll happen, I think Seth will win the match. Uh, I think the problem with the match is if Logan Paul hasn't practiced a lot with the fill in stuff, the tie ups, the elbows, the punches, the kicks, the headlocks, all he's got is those acrobatic moves. And that's going to get dumb real fast watching him climb to the top rope for every single move that he does. So I don't know
Yeah.
if he's polished his wrestling. I think they might put on a decent show, but I don't really foresee him unless something somebody hits somebody with a chair, cheats, or one of the other Paul
That
brother comes
that's where I'm
in.
about to go with this. I'm looking at either Logan Paul winning or getting disqualified. In both instances, The Miz interfering.
His brother might interfere.
I don't. I'm thinking it's The Miz, man. The story they've been doing on Raw with Logan Paul and The Miz too,
Yeah,
and Seth.
true. Yeah. Okay, Brock Lesnar and Omos.
Oh fuck! Man, you had to bring that up. I was trying to forget that was a thing.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think, Rich?
50-50. I'm not even gonna try and pick that one. I I don't honestly. I don't know where they're going with this.
Do you think it's possible for those two guys to put on a good match?
Do I think it's possible for him to put on a good match? No. Do I? Do I think that it could be just an angle to get Lashley and the Hurt Business back together? Possibly. Do, who's going to win the match? I couldn't tell you.
What do you think, Jason?
I don't know, man. Lashley and Omos.
No, Brock Lesnar and Omos.
Oh, Brock Lesnar and Omos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Oh
I
shoot, I
don't know how
remember
I
that.
got that mixed up. I was thinking, damn. Uh, it'd have to be Brock on that, man. Just decades of experience alone. It just got to be Brock. But kind of like what you saying, it doesn't even really sound very interesting. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
That doesn't sound like a good match, but Lesnar's got to move on and from Brock from that other guy Bobby and I don't know, man. That's kind of a stupid match. Hopefully, it doesn't last very long. Uh, don't see a lot of action going on in that. Maybe
Uh, can
Brock
Les?
f
Here's the
bombs
real
him
question.
4 or 5 times and that's it. I don't know.
Here's the big question: can Lesnar even get him up for an F5 as tall as he is?
That'd be difficult, man. I don't think that Omos's weight is a problem.
He's 400 and some pounds, but he's like 7'5".
Yeah, Bob. I don't know. Brock Lesnar might not scientifically have the room to get him off the ground.
At least not to swing him like he has to do the F5.
Yeah, that'd be difficult, man. I don't think it's going to be a very good match because Brock Lesnar is not much more than a smash him up kind of wrestler, and Omos, he's just too big and uncoordinated still, I
Oh,
think.
Lesnar can get technical if he has to. Go back and watch some of the matches between Lesnar and Angle back in the day.
Yeah, but he was wrestling Kurt Angle though. Like when Brock Lesnar is wrestling Kane, you don't want to see them down figure four leg locking each other. You want to see the two big guys smashing and
Right,
jumping off.
but here. Think of it this way: what if Lesnar has to go to the technical to beat Omos because of how big Omos is?
Yeah, I think that match is going to ride a lot on how much practice Omos has had in the ring. You know, if he's got like the Logan Paul guy, if he's practiced and he's gotten better, then he could probably put on somewhat of a show. I don't think it's going to be a good one, but it can be better than a disaster.
And another match got forgot about until we mentioned Bobby Lashley. If they're still doing this, because his opponent for WrestleMania has missed a couple of house shows now. But Bobby Lashley versus Bray Wyatt.
Man, I don't like the Bray Wyatt character. I don't get it. The Firefly Funhouse thing is stupid. When he's the demon, he's 100% indestructible. So how can he
Well,
not does not have every title?
or he's not doing the Fiend thing anymore.
Uh, and Bobby Lashley needs a new gimmick because the big super strong black guy, John Smith, I don't really think is going to sell much longer.
All right. What do you think on that one, Jason?
So Bray Wyatt's not the demon guy anymore.
No.
Okay. I don't know then. I don't know much about him then, other than the like evil clown mask. Is that who he is? The
Yeah, that guy.
uh, sorry, I don't know much more about him, but I don't know. I'll go with Bobby Lashley on that one. I just don't know. I just wanted to go back to the previous match. I agree with Kingpin. I think the match with Omos, the whole match will be dictated of by what kind of show Omos can do, what Omos can do.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be like a big man match and tests of strength and you know what I mean, finger locks and like I said, test of strength stuff like that. But back to this one. Yeah, I haven't seen the dude wrestle where he's not the evil clown, man. I like the evil clown. I thought that was pretty cool, but I really don't know what he is without the makeup.
Nobody right now knows what Bray Wyatt is. This whole reinvention gimmick thing just doesn't seem to be getting over as well as what they were hoping. I mean, it's not getting anywhere near the reaction that it used to.
Who are you picking?
Who am I picking? I'm gonna go Lashley.
All right, Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Oh, by the way, I saw Asuka. She still had her stupid hair pink and purple, but she was like just like normal human being dressed on an average regular day. She's a
Mm-hmm.
pretty lady. She's not a bad
Mm-hmm.
looking lady.
I agree with that.
Japanese girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that spits the green stuff out of her mouth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
What do you think, Rich? Who's going to be the new or and still?
If I'm not sure where they're going with this one. I don't know if they're going to take the belt off Bianca. It'll be a year, right? She won at WrestleMania last year, didn't she? So they could very well put it on Asuka. I don't know if they're going to. But if they're trying to rebuild her more as her Japanese character, not her Vince McMahon character, they very well could. So I'm torn on this one. I really don't know which way they're going to go with it.
How about you, Jade?
Oh, I think this will just be a good match. I really do. I think both of the girls will put on a real good show, but Bianca Belair, like, all the way on this one, man. Unless there's, like, some cheating outside interference or something.
I was watching one of the clips I watched earlier today or yesterday or something like that showed Bianca Belair. I can't remember who it was, but it was a big, huge WWE male wrestler, and she picked him up and had him across her shoulders and was just walking him around the outside of the ring on her shoulders. Uh, and then they showed where she would whip people with her hair,
Mm-hmm.
and Sasha Banks got lit up. Becky Lynch had like 3 or 4 huge red, just big rips on her stomach from where she was whipping her with that hair.
Was that back in NXT?
It was either back in NXT or it was early in the WWE thing.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
That might have been back right before Sasha and Becky got called up to the main roster, because back then Bianca, remember I told you how she would use her hair when she was a heel?
Yeah.
That could have been when that was from, because in NXT she was a heel. She didn't really become a babyface until they called her up to the main roster.
She is another one that I think has got comfortable being on top. She needs to get back in the gym. She needs to cut the stupid hair and change and become. She doesn't have to become a heel, but she needs to be less of a teeny bopper.
Yeah,
Like she needs to grow up.
I think she's better as a heel. I think she's like Charlotte. I think she's more of a natural heel. If you look at the way her character with the persona she has was better as a heel in NXT than it is as a babyface on the main roster.
I think as far as a quality wrestling match, I think Bianca and Asuka should put on a better quality wrestling match than Charlotte and Rhea. Although I think Charlotte and Rhea could burn it down, like if they really, really try. But I'm going to pick Bianca. Unfortunately, that's as far as what I think the show might do. I think that they might give it to Asuka and just move on. But my, personal preference would be keep Bianca with the belt. Uh,
I think we've gone through everything.
Stupid Becky Lynch and her stupid partner are going to defend those
Oh
stupid
yeah,
tag team belts.
yeah. I forgot about that one too. Well,
I don't even know who they're wrestling against.
fuck.
Have they even got an opponent yet? It's gonna be
It's a triple threat. It's a triple. No, it's a three-way. It's a trios match
yeah, because
because it's going to be them and Trish Stratus versus Damage Control.
for the tag team titles.
No, the belts aren't on the line.
Oh, all right. I thought that they were gonna put the tag team titles on the line at
That's what everybody
WrestleMania.
thought they were. That's what everybody thought they were doing. But no, it's going to be 3-on-3. Because that's what caught me was when they said that Trish was going to be in the match, and I thought she was just going to be like their manager to offset Bailey, But no, it's a 3-on-3.
John Cena and
Oh
Austin.
yeah, I forgot about that one too.
I hope Austin Theory kicks the crap out of John Cena.
I think that's where they're going to go with it. Cena doesn't got too many more matches in him, and a lot of people are saying that Theory could be the next John Cena, and have John Cena put over the next John Cena. It's just, and yeah, I think that's where they're going to go. I think they're going to have Austin beat Cena. Cena put somebody over on his way out the door. What do you think, Jason?
I don't know. Uh, I really don't like John Cena, but I I really don't like the other dude either. But I really don't like John Cena. But something just tells me about this one that like even though we don't like him and we don't like who he is for real, the crowd still loves John Cena, and he's the bigger superstar. So it wouldn't surprise me if he gets the win.
Cena losing it because the crowd is behind him and because he doesn't have too many matches left in him is the perfect reason to have him lose.
Also depends on if John Cena is doing his one last hurrah. And, he wants to have a curtain call. He can take a loss, take a good loss, and then, be able to wave out to the fans as he
Yeah.
leaves. But John Cena's also not, it's not like he's not going to be doing commercials and television shows and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, you saw. I'm gonna bet you saw the promo where Cena and Theory were in the ring a couple weeks ago.
yeah.
It Cena's line where he said to Theory, "If you win, you lose. If you lose, you lose."
Yeah.
He could be right. Either way this goes, it could be a no-win situation for Theory.
Does Cena have something coming out here soon? Like a new movie, a new show,
I have no
a
idea.
new something to put him back in the spotlight? Because if he does, that might be enough to put him over the top on this wrestling match.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Austin Theory needs to talk to Triple H, and he needs to be like, look, man, some point in time, I got to win a match without cheating. Because the people, if they want to hate me, they got to want to hate me instead of just being like, oh, here comes this dude that, okay, 15 minutes for somebody to hit somebody with a chair so he can still win. So he's either got to win a couple matches without cheating, or he's got to get meaner to the audience. You know what I mean? Like they either got to really care about hating him, because right now they don't care about hating him. So
That
like,
goes to Cena's point on the promo he cut on him.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
That was exactly Cena's point. The crowd doesn't care about him. Which again is a perfect reason to make Cena lose. Like somewhere on this card, the crowd has to be disappointed somewhere in the outcome of a match. This is the perfect match to do that with because the crowd doesn't care about theater.
So the only other match right now that I can think of that we haven't covered is Roman and Cody.
Yeah.
Now this is for the Universal, so he gets both belts.
Yeah, this is for both.
All right.
Now, what I was just saying about the the Cena and Theory being the perfect match to disappoint the crowd, this one could be too.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thinks Cody's going to win. What if they swerve and Roman wins and retains? The crowd is going to be sick because everybody thinks Cody's going to win because Cody is defending the legacy of his father and getting the one belt that he never held. That's the whole story to this, remember?
Technically, it's two belts he's never held.
Well, the one didn't exist at the time.
Roman pointed it out to him very well a couple weeks ago. It's two belts he's never had.
Yeah. Cody's response should have been, yeah, but that one didn't exist at the time.
And it exists now, and you've never had it.
Well, no, he's talking about his dad. He wants the WWE World Title because it's the one belt his dad never got a chance to hold.
Oh, I thought it was the one belt Cody never had.
No, he wants it because it's the one belt Dusty never had.
Oh, okay. See, I thought Dusty might have been the champion at one time, but I thought these were belts that Cody.
No, Dusty
Wait a minute.
never won the WWE title.
Neither has Cody.
No, but Cody never got a chance to go for it either.
Yeah,
But
Roman pointed that out too.
But Cody has been a world champion before. But that's not what Cody's going for. The whole storyline is Cody wants it because it's the belt his dad didn't get a chance to hold.
Yeah, tough crap, Cody. That's not your story. That's Dustin's story, not yours.
Which is basically what Roman told him. If you look at the preview, that promo that Roman cut on Cody was brutal.
Yeah, man. Some of the stuff that they say to each other, you're like, but you know that's got to hurt a little bit because you know.
Your dad was more impressed with me than he was with you. Ouch.
Well, and see, that's believable stuff. Where like when Dominic Cruz says that, and he backed off it a little bit, and like last week, talking about how big of a deadbeat dad Ray is.
Oh hell, did he just did it last night?
Well, but he also at one of the promos he said you only bought me a BMW, and it wasn't even a 5 Series. So he kind of let the crowd know, hey, for the people out there that think that my dad was a deadbeat, he actually wasn't. This is just a play.
Oh yeah, they did. They did that last night. But
I could really believe Dusty Rose not giving a crap about Cody and being on the road all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing a guy like Roman Reigns and being like, this is the son I should have had. Sorry, Jason.
No, I think when you guys are talking about that, that's the match I think I'm looking the most forward to. Roman Reigns and Cody. I think Cody could definitely out wrestle him.
I think,
but like you were saying, Rich, the crowd would be so disappointed. That's the point. That's the sell. I think that's the whole idea of it, man. So to pick a winner, it's going to be Roman Reigns. But I can't wait to see that match. The more the crowd's behind Cody, the more everybody wants him to win, and then Roman just come in, do something, end it, dagger in your hopes, leave you all shocked and awed. Last match, that's the perfect ending right there.
Yeah. what they could end up doing, Roman wins at WrestleMania. A few months down the line, you got SummerSlam. Rematch at SummerSlam? It's been done before.
I'll just throw in there. It's quite possible any of these big men matches, uh, somebody could become injured, so to speak, and have a lingering injury at the hands of the other one that could play into the future too. You know what I mean? A supposed bad knee from a chair, or bad neck, or something from a dirty move or something. But something could play out along them lines where they could stretch it out, and the one guy's extra mad because you busted my knee on a cheap shot or something.
Uh, and keep in mind, this isn't inside a cage or anything. The bloodline has a habit of getting involved in Roman's matches.
Well, which is very possible, kind of building off of what you and Jason are talking about right now. Roman could win with a little bit of help, maybe, on WrestleMania. And then the following 2 or 3 weeks on Raw, Cody could come out and be like, no, take me on right here, right now, in front of these fans for the belt, and take one of the belts away from him. Then that way, that breaks up the belts. It gives Cody his belt that he was looking for, and Roman didn't lose his other belt.
That's a possibility. And it's going back to the bloodline getting involved in the matches. If you look at it, the bloodline right now is basically the modern equivalent of the Four Horsemen. The same stuff that they're doing is the shit that the Horsemen did back in the day.
That goes back to Jason's point about the Kevin Owens match against the Bloodline, the Uso brothers. The Usos are another team that need to come out and have a decisive win without cheating, because every single match, whether it's Roman Reigns or it's Solo or it's the twins, they got to cheat somehow to win, and that they can't play forever.
No, they don't always cheat to win their matches. I mean, look at the series of matches they had against the Street Profits.
Yeah, they cheat.
Yeah, but they've been coming off lately on the vibe of cheating, and you know what I'm saying. It's you just get that vibe feel from them too. They need a decisive win in the recent history.
All right, switch gears a little bit. Rich White, uh, you think this big white chick is gonna give uh, my other girlfriend a run for her TBS championship?
The Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah, Taya Valkyrie. What's my black girl's name?
Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill. Yeah, yeah.
Taya Valkyrie has been a champion almost every place she went except for WWE, but then she wasn't in WWE for long, and she was only in NXT for a cup of coffee basically. So
real quick, what did you say her name was?
Taya Valkyrie.
Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that they could have her finally be the one to take the belt off of Cargill.
Can she wrestle? Because
yes,
I seen her in the match the other day, and all she did was just roll over top of a jobber, and she didn't really look all that good.
Oh, you mean Cargill? Can Jade?
No, Jade Cargill is my babe. That's my girl.
Yeah, I know you like her, but no, Taya Valkyrie. Yeah, she can go.
All right. I was surprised when she was walking down to the ring, like she got into the ring against Jade before she had her first match. Mm-hmm. And as she was walking down, I was like, oh, what's this chick going to do? Another, tiny white girl that's going to get slung around just like all the other girls in the locker room. And then she stood face to face with her, and I was like, holy crap, she's bigger than Jade Cargill.
Yeah, Taya Valkyrie is not little in any sense of imagination.
Now, Jade has got the physique, But
Yeah.
yeah,
Taya Valkyrie used to. She's gotten a little. She hasn't been hitting the gym as well as she used to. You go back and you watch some old reruns of like Lucha Underground from a decade ago, or what's it was almost a decade ago, and she was buff.
I just looked her up, man. She's a pretty good sized girl.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen her now. I know who she is. Yeah, she's a pretty big one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they have her be the one in Jade's streak.
Could be.
I'd like to see a match between them because I like watching Jade Cargill grab people by the head and crush their brains out their nose because
Mm-hmm.
it's fun. But that she can't go 700-0.
No,
So
she's not
even if she
Goldberg.
does, she's got to have somebody big to wrestle against her.
Yeah, she's not Goldberg. Goldberg had that streak of 100 and some wins, but Goldberg was wrestling once, twice every damn week. Jade wrestles what, once a month?
The Undertaker's a good example. They let him run through everybody and kill everybody 2 or 3 times, and then they brought Kane in so he could actually start having real matches.
Well, that was years after. That was Kane didn't come in till 5, 6 years after Undertaker made his debut.
Right, but in those 5 or 6 years, the Undertaker buried everybody in the company.
Not everybody.
Wow,
He beat Hogan, but then Hogan beat him back again. So I mean,
you know what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah. I think Goldberg is a better comparison, but like I said, Goldberg had his streak go for a year, but he was wrestling once or twice a week. Jade wrestles once in a blue moon, and that's why her streak's been going for what, 2 years now, because she hardly ever wrestles anybody.
Is this Taya Valkyrie? Is she like a high flyer?
No, no, no.
She's
She's
not
a
a high
power.
flyer.
No, she's a power wrestler.
She dresses like her backstory is that she was brought up and taught how to wrestle by the luchas,
Yes,
so
she
that's why
was.
she dresses like Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, yeah. She got her start in Mexico.
Jade Cargill's problem is a problem that only Jade Cargill knows about because there's not that many women of her stature on this planet. Never have been. China's another one. You got China in the ring, and she can beat 4 or 5 wrestlers at one time, but she can't do that every week because people are going to be like, this is dumb. So Jade Cargill can't wrestle every week because she'd have every title belt wrapped around her, and she'd have to fight 4 or 5 girls at one time to make it
Yeah,
believable.
yeah. The thoughts among the internet wrestler channels is that Jade originally was supposed to lose this belt by now to Chris Statlander, but every time you turn around, Statlander's getting hurt. So maybe they're bringing Taya Valkyrie in as a stopgap to have somebody that can beat her, legitimately have the pedigree to beat her until Statlander is healthy for once in her damn career. I swear to God, I think Chris Statlander's been on the injured list with AEW more than she's been on the active list.
Yeah, I've never even heard of her. That
Yeah, she's the one. Remember you sent me that picture?
Oh, that's the big girl doing the press.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she's not on the commercials anymore. I was wondering what happened to her.
Yeah, she's out with a damn knee injury again.
Who was it? Was it John Cena that pressed Rikishi over his head?
Wouldn't surprise me.
It was one of the wrestlers where they were talking about it was unbelievable how strong this person was, and they grabbed Rikishi and did a gorilla press up over the head slam.
Did you ever see the where Cena had both Edge and the Big Show on his shoulders at the same time?
Yeah,
Cena is strong as hell.
yeah.
No, but I saw a pretty good video. A John Cena doll ain't no match for a power sander.
Mhm. Nice.
There's some injury news out of New Japan, which could put a damper on the next Forbidden Door show, which has been announced. I believe it's going to be in June. But Will Ospreay fucked his shoulder up in a match during the New Japan Cup and had to pull out of that tournament. And one of the prospective matches was that they were going to do a rematch with him and Kenny Omega at the Forbidden Door, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen now.
Did you see Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho in Winnipeg together?
Mm-hmm.
That
That
was
triple
pretty
threat
cool.
match.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't really a triple threat match. It was a triple.
The
It
three-way.
was a three-way trios match.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't think they were going to take the titles off the House of Black that fast, though. So I pretty much figured they were going to win.
One thing that they got to be careful doing is NXT and AEW have got to watch out for the battle royals because it seems like at least every other week they're having this giant battle royal, and it's usually because of like an open challenge.
So did you get to watch Revolution, Kingpin?
That's what the NXT pay per view thing.
No, that was AEW's last pay-per-view a couple weeks ago.
Oh no.
Oh man, you got to find a way to watch that. That match between MJF and Danielson was fucking brutal.
Yeah.
They beat the hell out of each other, and so did Moxley and Hangman.
Yeah.
Those two matches were absolutely brutal.
All right. What's the deal? Why would they pump Wardlow and Samoa Joe so much to have Wardlow lose the title the very next day on television?
Well, I would say it was because of cheating, but it was because of interference.
Well, yeah, but it was a no disqualification falls count anywhere match
Yeah, I
that
know.
Wardlow asked for.
Yeah.
But my point is, why would they go through all that what they did with him and Samoa Joe for the pay per view, and then put Hobbs over the very next day on television,
Well,
or the very next day or two anyway?
well, they're playing up a couple of angles there. I mean, Wardlow may not have had his mind in the right place because his car being broken in. Two, he didn't have his own gear, which is why he said, "Let's do a street fight since I'm dressed in street clothes anyway." And then you got to factor in wrestling. You generally don't want to put a heel against a heel. Which if they would have put Hobbs and Joe as against each other for that title instead of putting it on Wardlow to get it from Joe to Hobbs, there's a couple of different reasons why they did it the way they did. And that moves up to the next feud. Wardlow's going to be all pissed off at Hobbs because Hobbs, I mean, I get it. It was within the rules of the match, particularly he still cheated because he had outside interference to help him win. And if you look at the promo that they had this week on Dynamite with the QT TV segment, they made it look like it was those guys that are the ones that broke into Wardlow's car to steal the belt in his bag when it was actually the belt and bag were actually stolen. There's actually been a police report filed in San Francisco and everything on that. It was a legitimate crime, but they're using that as an angle now as part of that feud. So they're basically building another story between Hobbs and Wardlow now to move Wardlow away from Joe. So that's my take on it anyway. Uh,
That old Japanese lady that's on NXT can wrestle, man. She's good.
oh yeah, she's been around for a long time.
Oh,
You're talking about the one that was fighting what's her face before she collapsed, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She's been around for a long time. She's not a spring chicken. She's God. She wrestled for quite some time. She's a former NXT UK champion, and she's held numerous championships over in Japan over the years too. So I mean, for the life of me right now, I can't remember her goddamn name, but yeah, she's been around for a while.
So who do you think, Ron Breaker or Carmelo?
I think they're going to have Carmelo win and Braun get called up shortly after. There's not much more he can do in NXT, let's be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's Carmelo's time. I mean, the dude is super over with the crowd and everything. They got to put the belt on him at some point, you know.
Yeah, whoever came up with that gimmick, I am him, really got a good one. That one chick, her name's Saraya now in AEW.
Uh huh.
I guess her real name from is Paige from
No, that's not her real name.
well,
Her real name is I think is Saraya. Saraya Knight, I believe, is her real name.
yeah, the whatever her WWE page or
Yeah,
wherever
WWE was her name was Paige. Yeah.
they got her coming on when that wrestling TV show that comes on Sunday nights.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty hot, man. I like her.
So, what do you think about that stable that she's got with Ruby Soho and Tony Storm?
Uh, I liked her and Tony Storm doing her thing and spray painting people and being the outsiders. I kind of would have been okay if the Storm, not the other, what's the Ruby Soho would have won the title in the three-way match and then just stayed independent. Uh, I don't really mind that she's went bad either. She cuts a good promo on camera, like recorded stuff, like the lead up to that match. She was doing some really good uh, movies, I guess you want to say. But in the ring, she's a little bit like live on the mic. She's a little bit off. Uh, I probably would have been all right with her just staying independent. Uh, but I think she fits pretty good, and so far it's been all right.
Yeah, I agree with you on the NWO thing too. I think that's what they're doing. They're redoing the NWO with only female version of it. It's an invasion of former WWE people, which is exactly what the NWO was.
Tell you what, Shawn Michaels looks like he's about to die.
Oh, hell, he's put his body through hell over the years, man.
Yeah, he's gotten to look a lot older in the last 5 years, hasn't
Even outside, I'm not even talking about just in the ring. The guy had a massive drug habit. He was an alcoholic. And then look at the shit he put himself through in the ring. I mean, no wonder he looks like shit. to put it bluntly, the guy did not live the most healthy lifestyle, let's put it that way.
he? Easy, Rich. You don't have to be all jealous like that and shit.
uh-huh. To be honest with you, I'm surprised Shawn Michaels can still walk without a cane or a walker. Just the bumps that he took. Christ, I'm shocked that fucking Mick Foley can, for that matter.
Uh,
Both of those guys, some of the bumps that they both took in the first couple of Hell in a Cell matches, it's amazing either one of those guys is still alive.
Foley got more banged up than Evil Knievel.
There's a reason why Ric Flair calls Mick Foley an overrated stunt, or yeah, an overrated stuntman. That's basically what Foley is. Guy took more bumps than somebody with a goddamn bad case of chicken pox.
Yeah, but Sacco never got hurt.
Listening to some of the videos you hear about, like Dusty Rhodes told a story about he was on one of the NWAs or AWAs or something, and the television wouldn't let them show blood. But it was the Road Warriors dug a spike into his face, and he was
Yeah,
all
that was a big
bleeding.
deal on him.
Yeah, and then they said that like the next week the TV show fired him.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "Nah, you're fired." You know, you should. They let him finish out whatever tournament they were doing, and then right after that they fired him.
Yeah. Yeah. Dusty and the Road Warriors at that point were the NWA six-man tag team champions, and that's when the Road Warriors turned heel on Dusty. They drove the spike into his head, and the crowd still were cheering and everything for the Road Warriors. So they said, "Fuck it," and turned them babyface again.
Yeah. But going back to Jason's point with his Mankind, a lot of those, when you hear him talk about the matches, these iconic matches, like when Ultimate Warrior threw Mick Foley off the top of that cage onto the desk, Mick Foley was like, "Hey man, I got an idea. Toss me down onto the table."
Yeah.
And Undertaker
No,
was
that
like,
was
"You're stupid,
yeah,
man. You're gonna get me arrested. I'm not doing that." And he was like, "No, come on, do it. I got this."
yeah. That's not even where Foley got hurt.
And when Kane threw him through the top of the cage,
Oh,
and
that was Undertaker. That was that same match with the Undertaker.
oh no,
With
remember he did it again with Kane because he went through the
that
ring on that one.
yeah, but that wasn't the what I'm talking about. If you go back to the one where he threw him through the announce desk, later on is when he went through the top of the cage accidentally,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's where he got all messed up. But yeah, I know what one you're talking about too. But I was still going on with the one where you were talking about where he went through the announce desk. That was the easy part because the announce desk was rigged for for him to be able to land safely and everything. But when he went through the top of the cell, that was completely and totally accidental. That wasn't supposed to happen.
They said sometimes they'll take and put a crash pad over top of some of these desks and tables and
Yeah.
stuff that they're going to crash people through when the camera's not looking. And then they'll crash through it and then cut the camera away so they can. So if you're sitting there in the front row and you're really, really paying close attention, like a lot of times you'll see them setting props up and taking props down for the TV show.
Why do you think if you look at WWE's announce desk, why do you think they look the way they do? The desks themselves are the crash pad in WWE.
Right, yeah.
If you look at like the tables, the desks and stuff they use other places like New Japan and stuff, it's just a folding table.
Yeah, like Nick Foley's insurance agent is probably like, nah, man, we don't need you as a client anymore. His insurance probably canceled. It's probably ended his career. They told Vince, insurance company called, said, you got to stop this foolishness.
This guy's going to kill himself. I swear Foley had a death wish. Good God. Some of the shit he did that you don't even see on American TV because it happened over in Japan is absolutely ridiculous.
They got commercials on TV. You can get $100,000 life insurance for $20 a month.
Not if your
Unless
name's
you're
Mick
Mick Foley. Fucking $10,000 a month.
Mick Foley, you want insurance? Yeah, okay, we'll give you a $40,000 life insurance policy, but you got to pay $50,000 up front. He goes to apply for one of those guaranteed from 60 to 80 life insurance policies, and they're like, no, we're gonna have to deny you, Mick.
Yeah, the ones that say No doctor exam required. They're like, oh
Uh-huh.
no, hell no, not you, man.
No, but that doesn't include. You're gonna start seeing at the bottom of those commercials, Mick Foley excluded in the fine print.
Yeah, being the fine print at the bottom. Not available to Mick Foley or in Maryland.
Well, a lot of those aren't available in this state. If you look, West Virginia is excluded from a good bit of those.
AEW comes to Baltimore in like another 2 months or something. I think it's May.
I think WWE's coming here this week, last week, something like that.
They did a SmackDown in Washington D.C. like 2 weeks ago.
They had Big E at the hockey game here the other night.
The pay per view after WrestleMania is going to be in Puerto Rico, and the SmackDown that weekend is going to be in Puerto Rico too.
Ain't that where Bruce and Brody got killed?
Yep.
Murdered, I should say.
Yeah, murdered in the shower after an event. They know who did it, and the guy was never arrested.
There's plenty of Democrats in Puerto Rico. Explains everything.
The guy stabbed him in the back multiple times.
So he committed suicide.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't the Clintons, so.
Oh, he died of COVID then.
This was in the 80s.
Oh, AIDS. He died of AIDS.
Oh,
Yeah.
AIDS. Okay.
Blade induced AIDS.
Uh-huh. No, he had some kind of blood disease. It destroyed his blood.
Yeah, blood. He didn't have enough of it.
Yeah.
A blood deficiency.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly. Or he slipped on the blood and busted his head on the toilet seat.
In the guy that killed him's defense, Brody was known to rub people the wrong way. So,
Oh, I saw a real good documentary. I think it was one of them Jim Cornette documentary shows.
mhm.
And they talked about this, and they interviewed his friends, other wrestlers that were there with him, and they were scared to death. They had to get to the airport and get the hell out of the country. They gave all the back story, the inside of what went down with that, man, and that was just pretty screwed up, man. But you're right, like with the local politics and everything there, they never brought any charges or even like attempted much of any kind of investigation or anything like that.
Everybody knows who did it.
Yeah,
People
they were
saw
all
him do
there,
it.
seen it, and watched it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they saw
yeah,
him do it.
yeah.
They know exactly who it was.
Yeah, but there was a bunch of stuff that happened there, like they blocked the ambulance from coming to rescue him and help him and stuff. There was a
Yeah,
lot to that story. The other wrestlers that were there, man, they were scared to death, man. They couldn't wait to get to
yeah,
the airport.
yeah, it was a totally screwed up, messed up situation. There were a lot of guys that wouldn't wrestle in Puerto Rico after that.
Yeah, I don't blame them. That's U.S. territory, though, right?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
U.S. Commonwealth.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure things are different now. I mean, it's not like you could go there and get stabbed or nothing because they just shoot you down like a dog in the street nowadays.
No, that's Brazil.
I don't know. Didn't they just assassinate their president or something over there?
Oh, I don't know.
Their leader, or is there like local gangs that run the place? Something. I thought I heard something. Maybe it was a different country.
I don't know. I know in New Jersey, two Republican city council people in somewhere over in New Jersey were murdered within a few weeks of each other.
I know what you're talking about, Jason. That was a different country. I can't
It's
remember,
like the
but
Bahamas or someplace.
it
Something.
it was something I can't remember. But they definitely killed the top guy.
Yeah, a little island someplace or whatever. But well, it's good that it wasn't here. I guess. Let's wrestle.
Speaking of guys getting killed, well, not really. Jay White is no longer the leader of Bullet Club in New Japan. They,
They're trying to bring that Bullet Club thing back to AEW.
yeah, well, nobody knows. Well, but it's already there because you got Juice Robinson who's signed with AEW and he's a member of Bullet Club. But
Wait. You got a group from Japan that call themselves the Bullet Club.
yeah, they were
Is that
in New
because they don't have
Japan
any
and Ring of Honor.
guns?
Now they're in New Japan, AEW, and Impact.
Do the common people of Japan really know what a bullet is? I mean, you can't have a gun in Japan, right? The people?
Well, it was started as a Gaijin faction. It was a bunch of foreigners.
They know what bullets in Japan are, Jason, because most of their family were killed by Marines with bullets.
Oh man! What one of the founding members of Bullet Club is actually Finn Balor.
Did his family kill any Japs with bullets?
Did the Irish fight in World War II?
Probably not.
Then probably not.
Sure, if you asked them, they had a huge role.
I don't think he's from Northern. I don't think he's from Northern Ireland. I think he's from Southern Ireland. You know, the Republic of Ireland. So they were neutral. So highly unlikely.
Speaking of them, did you guys see Conor McGregor on Hannity the other night?
No.
He was on Sean Hannity.
Yeah.
Was he selling his booze or was he talking about politics?
Um, Hannity did kind of like a live show where he had like a live set, you know, a little crowd out there. So it was a little rowdy. You know what I mean? It wasn't like his in studio show and everything's calm. He had a nice little crowd. Um, that dude come out. He just did a movie. He redid Roadhouse, and he's Dalton. But he really didn't talk too much about the film, just about like the experience of being an actor and stuff. But you know the Tunnel for Towers organization that builds the homes for the disabled veterans and firefighters. His whiskey company he brought out. He gave Tunnel to Towers like $5 million.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of Conor McGregor when he first started coming up to MMA. And then the thing that pissed me off about Conor McGregor is there's a videotape of him. He walks into a pub or a bar. I'm not too sure where he was at. If it was America or Ireland or wherever. And a fat old man, little fat old man, is sitting at the bar with his back turned, just I guess having some drinks in the middle of the day with his bud. Connor says something to him. And the guy's like, "Oh no, I'm cool" or whatever. Conor McGregor sucker punches this old man. Super athlete, two-time champion, double champ in the UFC at the time, sucker punched an old man. And after that, Conor McGregor might as well be dead to me. I can't. It's just
That's pretty low life, yeah.
that's super low life. Now, the one thing
Mhm.
interesting about Conor McGregor is the beginning of his UFC career, his walk around weight, 180 at the most, 170, and he cut weight to 145. And then he started cutting weight to 155 because he was fighting both divisions. Conor McGregor now weighs 265 pounds. How much do you weigh, Jason?
Buck 65.
265. Conor McGregor is like 5'9", 5'10". That's a massive amount of weight to add on for a guy. I'm 6'2", and I'm 150 pounds. I could put on 50 pounds, or you could stand a guy next to me 6'2", 260 pounds, and you'd be like, okay, that's a big dude or whatever. Conor McGregor's like 5'10", 265.
Mhm.
So that's a little bit suspicious to me. He's a hard working out guy. I give him his props. That's a lot of bulk to add on.
Yeah, especially he's like, what? He's probably 30 years old. You think? Older than that? Early 30s?
Gotta be older than that.
I'd
See,
say
that's
he's
what.
probably in his mid-30s.
Yeah, that's one thing to throw on that kind of weight when you go from like 18 to 21. You know what I mean? That's different. Once you're anywhere near 30 and you're changing like that, something's up.
You know, him. I like this trash talk. The stuff that he did with Khabib Nurmagomedov got a little bit out of hand, and then when he was attacking the bus, that was pretty much uncalled for. Then he cheated on his wife, which I mean, that's not my life. That's your life. You do what you want. I don't appreciate it. Krabby Turtle has joined the show. Uh, Getting in trouble with the Russian mafia. Oh, I don't care what you do in your life and all that. But when I seen him sucker punch that old man, I mean, you're a bitch if you do that. I don't care how tough you are. You could be Conor McGregor and be a super bad UFC fighter, but you're a bitch if you do that.
Hmm. That's like when Ken Patera back in the '80s beat up that woman cop in the McDonald's. Fuck that guy after that. He went to prison for that too.
Yeah, I'm cool. Like if the Big Show is out at restaurant with his by himself, all by himself, just having a burger at McDonald's, and I walk up to him and I start giving him a hard time. I expect not the super famous, worried about getting sued guy, but John Q. Public, that's just that big. I expect him to brush me off and walk away because why would he fight somebody as puny as me when he's the size and as powerful as he is? Now, that being said, if I push that guy to his breaking point and I get on his nerves so bad that he feels like the only thing he's got to do is crush my head, I ain't got no problem with a giant man beating on a little man that needs to have his mouth corrected.
Hmm.
Uh, but I always tell my nephews, never fight anybody that you know you can beat. There's no reason for it. The mainly reason I tell them that is because there's three brothers. So the oldest brother can't be beating up the youngest brother. The second can't be beating up the baby because you can. Why would you fight him when you know you can beat his butt anytime you want? And I think a man that goes around fighting men in real life, not in competition, Mike Tyson goes around beating up the mailman. That's not impressive. That means Mike Tyson's a punk.
Hmm. No, you know who Ken Patera is, right?
I've heard the name before, I think.
Yeah, he was an Olympic weightlifter turned professional wrestler. At the time when that happened, he was wrestling for WWF. He went to prison for like 5 years after for that, and
Should have
rightfully
shot.
so.
Should have shot him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. He's lucky he didn't get shot. Perfectly honest.
One of my favorite clips on YouTube. It's a compilation of when bullies get paid back kind of deal. And there's this kid. Remember Chunk from the Goonies?
Mm-hmm.
He looked a bit like Chunk. And this one, skinny little punk dude kept just pestering him throughout this. The video is probably like 2 or 3 minutes long. And eventually, Chunk just had enough and just grabbed him up, scooped him, and just body slammed him right on the ground. And this kid started screaming like a little banshee, ah! All top of his lungs like a little baby girl. And dude just stood over top of him and said, "I told you not to mess with me," and then walked away. And I was like, "Yeah, man, that's cool. You know, mess with people, and then you get hurt. You get what you ask for."
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a big, strong man in the WWE, beating on a little tiny, you know, uh, flatfoot beat cop, and you get shot, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, I forget who he was with. Him and Ken Patera and some other wrestler. I forget who it was. They had gone on a drinking binge the night before. Went to McDonald's. He had something to eat. They got all rowdy, and the manager told them they had to leave and stuff. They refused to leave, so the manager called the cops. The cops came to arrest him, and Patera beat up the woman cop, and threw her partner through the damn window of the restaurant. He's damn lucky they did not kill him that day.
Yeah, there's a definite problem in society with celebrity and sports figures acting and feeling like they're above us and above the law.
There was always some speculation that drugs may have been involved, but it was never proven. Wouldn't surprise me. It was the 80s. So I guess on that note, we can start wrap. Unless you
Uh,
got something else, Kingpin.
yeah, I got one more. Everybody, let's have a moment of silence for somebody who's been tragically misused and abused over the past few months in professional wrestling, and that's Corbin Burnson. Is that his name?
I mean, Baron Corbin.
Corbin Burnson's the actor.
Yeah.
But oh, poor whatever his name is, Happy Corbin.
Yeah.
He's had a rough couple months, man. I feel so bad for that guy.
Man, he was dumped by JBL. You know how bad that is to get dumped by JBL?
And he gets beat up so bad every week.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna kick his ass. He gets beat up by Chad Gable.
And how about Otis? Otis, the supermodel.
Oh God, did he join the model?
Oh yeah, man. He's got his new jersey and everything.
Oh
Like
man, I have not watched Raw in a couple weeks.
he's all oiled up and
Oh God.
yeah, he's a sex symbol now.
Oh man. I feel
But
bad for Gable. What are they doing with Gable now then?
I guess he's still just gonna keep doing his thing because he's had a couple matches. Otis hasn't had any matches recently. He wrestled somebody, and then I think he might have wrestled that little Arab dude that I like.
Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, I think so. But then those model people have been after him for the past couple weeks, and then finally last week they got him into a photo session.
There was speculation that that's where they were going with it.
Yeah, they went there.
Oh Lord.
Oh, teeth. I don't mind watching the Miz get beat up every week because, like, that's what you expect to happen to the Miz.
Oh yeah, that's the Miz's whole character.
But
It's the guy you want to see get beat up.
I'm just really feeling bad for Happy Corbin now. Oh, and another one that was good. I don't know if you saw it, but Boogs is Elias's understudy.
Yeah, I've seen the couple things with the two of them.
They were in the back, and Boogs was taking notes, and Elias was like, "Man, you got to come out of your shell. You got to go. Look, you see him over there?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, that's Bronson."
Oh yeah. Go
He
over
said,
and
"You
tell
got to
him
go
I
over
want
there
to
and say,
wrestle
I
him.
want to fight you."
He goes over and tells him that, hey, Elias wants to fight you.
That
Yeah,
was
that was a
funny.
couple weeks ago when that happened.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you want to fight me? Who was it? I don't remember who it was."
It was Bronson Reed.
Yeah, that's who it was. He's like,
Yeah.
he walks over and says, "You want me to fight me? Fine, next week." He's like, "What the hell did you say to him?" "I did what you told me to do. I told him that you wanted to fight him."
That was funny. Well, I'm done if you want to shut it off.
Okay, yeah. You gave it. Oh man. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, take it easy. Krabby, if you're still with us, man, you have a great night, my brother.
What about you, Jason?
Nah. See y'all later. Have a good one. Happy Patty's Day.
Alrighty, so I guess that's gonna be the end of the show for this week. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Unloaded Media channel for This Week Unloaded, hopefully. And until next week, and don't forget, 2 weeks. We got a whole weekend because it's gonna be 2 nights of WrestleMania. So yeah, next week we got a regular show, and then 2 weeks got back-to-back watch-alongs for WrestleMania. So see you tomorrow night and then next week for the show. Till then, yeah, here's Randy Savage.
You guys are probably really scared right now, and I understand that completely. But I get the better of the deal, and even though it's 3 versus 2, you guys are outnumbered because we're better than you guys. Yeah, we are. We're legends in our own mind compared to you guys. Even though you guys got the egos, we have got the wrestling skill. And this guy right here, we're the Space Cowboys.